Hello, 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 everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you are watching the replay, I appreciate you for tuning in. Be sure to share this with someone. Share this with a fellow CEO, with an entrepreneur, with a business owner. This is going to be good. All right. So I'm going to give you all some time to come on in, and I'm also going to share this on my platform. So give me just one moment, and then we'll get into everything. I pray you all are having an amazing Tuesday. It surely is very hot on today, but we praise God for the warm weather. Okay, here we go. So, without further ado, I am Shekinah Walton. I'm the founder of Shekinah Victoria Enterprises, a premium social media marketing and branding company, and we specialize in social media account management services along with brand strategy and social media strategy consultations. Also, we are cooking up something new, which I will be sharing very soon. So you want to make sure that you stay tuned into our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and we are also on TikTok. And so make sure that you stay connected with us on Shekinah Victoria at Shekinah Victoria Enterprises, and also be sure to subscribe to our email list. And you can do that by going to ShekinahVictoriaEnterprises.com. Again, it's ShekinahVictoriaEnterprises.com. There should be a light box that pops up, and from then on you can subscribe. That way you are able to be on our email list and receive updates, different promotions and things of that sort. And like I said, I'm Shekinah, the founder of Shekinah Victoria Enterprises. Some of our clients have been featured in some of the local news publications such as Northwest Indiana Times, Chicago Crusader, Northwest Indiana Business Magazine, and Grounded News. And I've worked with a variety of different businesses and organizations, from those in arts and entertainment to businesses that are more so in education or business. And so it's been an awesome journey, and I'm looking forward to what is ahead because the journey is continuing. It has been forever since I have done a winning or bold moves, winning strategies for social media success. So I'm so glad to be on here. And guess what? We're going to be getting into Red Lobster. How many of you all like Red Lobster? Okay, now let me just say, Red Lobster was the restaurant to be at back in the day, okay? I mean, in the early 2000s, everybody wanted to be at Red Lobster. Everyone wanted the cheddar biscuits. Everyone wanted to have their birthday there. Everyone wanted to dine there. That was like the fancy restaurant, okay, back in the day in the early 2000s. But if you've noticed, it had a slight decline, even to the point where I used to love Red Lobster back in the day. And then, something started to shift. The food started to taste a little different. The vibe was a little bit different. The customer experience was a little bit different. And so it became one of the restaurants that I didn't too much care for like I used to. But if you have not heard the inside scoop, guess what? Red Lobster has a new CEO, and his name is Damola. And he has been literally shifting the entire brand perception of Red Lobster. Red Lobster's sales have increased. Red Lobster's popularity and influence has increased. And we're going to get into what those shifts were that he did and that he made as a CEO that is causing for Red Lobster to go from declining, being bankrupt, to now all of a sudden it's going to newer heights. More people are going to Red Lobster, eating its food, having an amazing experience. And so we're going to get into this because he was a genius. He was brilliant in how he literally turned Red Lobster upside down to now it's thriving and it's doing much better. And so we're going to talk about Red Lobster's branding evolution, the wins, the missteps, and what every CEO and business owner can learn from it. Again, if you have not shared this live, go ahead and share this, because as a CEO, you need to know about branding so that people will be drawn to your business. And so we're going to dive deep into some of these things that we can even take away from Red Lobster's evolution, okay? So whether you're building a legacy brand or just getting started, these are some key takeaways that you can be able to apply. So let's dive in, all right? So Red Lobster's new CEO, as I mentioned, is Damola. And guess what? He was appointed in September 2024. And he hasn't even been the CEO for a year yet, but he's already making bold moves. So this is why we titled these broadcasts bold moves, because we're talking about bold moves that you can make as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, as someone that wants to really become a leading voice in your industry, as someone that wants to be known in your industry from everywhere in the country, or even, internationally. So Damola, he was appointed in September 2024, right? And Red Lobster was experiencing bankruptcy, all right? Now, it's interesting because a lot of things have been going on, and, we've been seeing a lot of posts regarding Damola, but I don't remember ever hearing about Red Lobster's former CEOs. So this is very amazing how Damola is making so many shock waves, even in media, because of how he has literally turned Red Lobster around. So Damola, he's been focusing on revitalizing the brand and changing the perception of how people see Red Lobster. He's trying to address past mistakes. One of the past mistakes was the endless shrimp deal. So who loved Red Lobster's endless shrimp deal? Okay. Now, I love shrimp, but I don't think I ever got the endless shrimp. I'm pretty sure my sister who's on here, hey Jen, I'm pretty sure you got the endless shrimp deal before. But guess what? So Red Lobster was not prepared. They were not prepared at all when they launched that new type of deal where, okay, you can get in the shrimp. They were not prepared. One, it turned out to be widely successful, more than they could have ever imagined. And so you have now a demand of customers wanting the endless shrimp. And yes, she loves shrimp. You have a lot of people who wanted the endless shrimp, but guess what? Now this drives up costs because shrimp is not cheap. And then also the workers, there were not enough workers to meet that demand. And so now this is affecting the customer experience. People are taking forever. It's taking forever to get their food. People are getting grumpy because they've been waiting, an hour and a half, 2 hours for their endless shrimp, and then on the other hand, Red Lobster was not able to meet the demand. And so, although it was successful where people, they desired this endless shrimp, they were not prepared to be able to come up to that level as far as the employees being able to meet the demand, to how navigating it, and then with the price of shrimp, of course, how they were pricing it. They weren't really able to be as successful financially because of how the endless shrimp deal was priced. And so there were a lot of different errors that they made. And so Damola now, he is in the process of literally revitalizing the brand and addressing even the endless shrimp promotion that caused for them to not be able to succeed in that. He's also trying to improve the dining experience. And as entrepreneurs, you want to make sure that your clients, your customers have a great experience with you. Because if they don't, then they won't come back. You won't have the returning clients. You won't have returning customers. But then also, this will affect your brand perception. Because we know people talk. So if they don't have a good experience with you, they will tell their best friend. They will tell their sister. They will tell their brother. They will say, don't go there, right? Because I didn't have a good experience. And so we want to learn from kind of the missteps that Red Lobster had, but now how they're shifting to now become a superpower in the restaurant industry. So a few other things. he is working on bringing new ideas into Red Lobster. So for those who don't know, guess what? Red Lobster has a new menu. So I actually want to check it out because I haven't been to Red Lobster maybe since last year when they had the former CEO, right? And so they have a new menu. So they introduced seafood boils. Red Lobster has never had seafood boils, although they are a seafood restaurant. So they introduced seafood boils. They introduced a lot of other menu items, but then also kept the ones that people loved and that were staple items. But guess what? People were complaining that the seafood boils did not have enough seasoning. It was like, there's no flavor, there's no spice, it doesn't taste like how they expected it to taste. And Damola, as a CEO, he could have been like, okay, well, I thought these seafood boils were going to be a hit, and I'm just gonna remove it from the menu item. But guess what? He listened to what people were saying on social media, and this is what you call social media listening. This is crucial for every entrepreneur, for every business owner to do, to listen in to what people are saying regarding your brand, to what people are saying regarding your industry, and see how you can pivot and navigate, around what is being said. Take even the constructive feedback and the constructive criticism and see how you can improve your customer experience. Okay, I'm seeing, hey, Minister Carla, I'm saying, do you do social media for counseling life coach? All my clients have come through word of mouth. That's amazing. Yes, I work with entrepreneurs and businesses. And so I can work with anybody. If you're interested in improving your social media presence and being able to reach more people, and word of mouth is amazing. That's one of the best forms of marketing. Social media marketing is also a superpower, though. So, that opens you up to a whole nother world of people internationally and nationally that may have never known about your services. So, yes, I do social media marketing. I help entrepreneurs as well as businesses to be able to refine their brand, refine their social media presence. So I would love to assist if you're interested. All right, so let's get back to what Damola has done. So he wanted to improve also the communication and the perception of how people viewed Red Lobster, their quality. Remember, like I said, Red Lobster was the restaurant to be at. Before I really had the understanding, I thought like this is a rich people's restaurant, right? Back in the day, I thought I was rich going to Red Lobster. I thought it was on a scale like nowadays, like a steak 48, or like a Dillard's, is it Dillard's? I think no, it's not. No, not Dillard's. Perry's Steakhouse, But, as I got older, like I mentioned, Red Lobster kind of started to decline. But they're just like that, Red Lobster's brand perception and how people are viewing it is changing and it's shifting. And so this goes to show that even you as an entrepreneur, as a brand, you can make a change that quick and it can affect how people perceive your brand in a good light. They also, because of the turnaround plan that Damola had, he secured over $60 million, right, in new financial backing. And it was because he strategized. So as entrepreneurs, you have to strategize regarding your brand. If you don't like where things are going, okay, where can we shift? What can we do differently? Don't just stay at that current level and allow for yourself to be defeated. There's always new things that you can implement. And let me add this last thing. Damola, he is the youngest CEO of Red Lobster's history. He's 36 years old. Now, when I saw him, I thought he was in his 20s. But he's 36 years old, so he's able to bring a fresh perspective to Red Lobster. And one thing I also noticed was that he's in tune with the customers of Red Lobster. Like I mentioned, I had no idea who the former CEOs of Red Lobster were because I've never seen them on social media. I've never seen them interact with, the global customers of Red Lobster. But he's literally showing up recording content. He's saying, hey, I heard you all want more flavor in the seafood boils. We got it. We got 4 different types of flavors that we are rolling out. We got spicy, we got Cajun, we got all these other things. So he's invested and interested in the customers and clients of Red Lobster. Whereas former CEOs, I didn't really see them. They were more kind of behind the scenes. And so for some entrepreneurs, and I would suggest for a lot of entrepreneurs, it's necessary in these days and times to be able to have that personal touch with your clients, with your customers on social media, right? So yes, we want to be behind the scenes, but also people want to see, does the CEO care? Does the founder care? Or do they just want my money? Are they interested in, me as a customer, as a client? Are they interested, and do they care about my opinion? And do they want feedback? And then also from people seeing that makes them so much more, I would say, interested in going to Red Lobster and, purchasing a meal at Red Lobster, because they see, wow, this CEO is heavily invested. They care about their customers. They care about their brand. They're showing up consistently. They're listening to our feedback and not, getting offended because of the feedback that we give. And that makes people so much more appreciative. And it also causes for them to want to invest in the food that Red Lobster has. So it's the CEO's responsibility to steer the ship, to position the brand, to develop the brand, to have clarity regarding the brand, to update the brand when certain updates need to be made. We see there's been many businesses that have closed because they have not shifted, because they have not pivoted with times changing. There's been many businesses that have went out of business. I remember when there was Sears everywhere, but Sears was not able to make those changes as time progressed. They were not able to update with the times, and so it's important that you're able to evolve. And I think that's one thing that contributed to Red Lobster's decline also, is that they were not constantly evolving and seeing what new things can we bring to our menu, and so now that Demola is the CEO, he's completely shifted things. You said good information. I love this. I'm so happy you love it. So social media listening is important, and it shows that you care. It shows that you are really invested. Social media listening is simply just asking people who follow you, your brand, who are customers and clients, things of that sort, feedback regarding your services, your goods, or even if there's certain things that are happening in the industry that may not even relate to you specifically, but it's in your industry, you can address certain things. Like now, for example, for those who are in like the cleaning industry, of course there's now more people that want more environmentally safe cleaning products. And so how can you reassure people that the products that you use will not be toxic? So that's just an example. Listening to what are people saying regarding my industry that I'm in. For example, Minister Carla, you said you are counseling, you are a life coach. And so now a lot of people are very conscious and also very interested in mental health and emotional awareness and emotional intelligence. And so there is a need for these mental health services. There is a need for counseling services. And so how can you address these barriers, these gaps that may be happening or occurring in the industry, So I hope that you all enjoyed getting into Red Lobster's branding evolution. I'm going to actually go to Red Lobster very soon, check out the new menu, see how the experience is, if it's deferred from how it used to be. if it's improved, if my customer experience is better, and I'm super excited. I'll definitely let you all know how my experience is with the new CEO being in place and all these new changes that he's made. So I hope that you enjoyed this. We talked about how Red Lobster was literally able to pivot and learn from their missteps because of a new CEO having clarity, having vision, knowing what to do, knowing what pivots to make, knowing what shifts, what changes to introduce, and now it's led to an upward incline of Red Lobster. And now they want to actually introduce kind of a new type of, I would say, look as far as how Red Lobster's restaurants look. We know that they've looked the same for maybe the past 15, 20 years. And so now they're trying to introduce that. But of course, it takes money to do that. But with the way that they're headed, it won't be an issue at all. And so I love looking into different restaurants and their brands and kind of some of the mistakes they made and how they pivoted. And I just want to say it's okay to pivot. It's okay to pivot. It's okay to shift. It's okay to introduce a new idea, a new change. You don't want to stay at the same level if you see this is not working. You say you do paint therapy and candy therapy and you'll speak with me offline. Okay, sounds good. And for all those who viewed and who watched our live, thank you so much for tuning in to Bold Moves, Winning Strategies for Social Media Success. This is Shekinah Walton, the founder of Shekinah Victoria Enterprises, where I help all of my clients go from overlooked to unforgettable. Go ahead and go to ShekinahVictoriaEnterprises.com. If you have not, check out our services where we offer social media account management services, brand and social media strategy consultation services. And don't forget to subscribe so you can be the first to know about all updates, promotions, and all of that good stuff. And I will see you all next Tuesday at 5:30 because we're going to be doing these every Tuesday. I don't know how long I was on. I hope it wasn't too long, but this was really good. So if you missed the entirety of this live, be sure to go back and also share this with someone. Share, so that other people can get this information. And I'll see you all. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Bye-bye.